Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. We're going to be talking about the Houston Astros and what the Astros should be doing when it comes to Trey Mancini and Yuli Gurriel, both being free agents. Just talked about Christian Vasquez and Martin Maldonado, both being free agents. Which one the Astros should re-sign, which one the Astros should let walk. And we're going to be doing the same thing for Mancini and Gurriel. If you have not checked the Vasquez Maldonado one and you're an Astros fan, I encourage you to go check that out because that was very interesting. Talked about those two guys and also Corey Lee and the potential targets of going to get a different catcher. So, but we're going to be doing the same thing for Trey Mancini, Yuli Gurriel. Which one do I think the Astros should re-sign, Yuli or Trey Mancini? I want the Astros to re-sign Trey Mancini. I like what he's doing. I think we gave up a lot of young talent in Jose Siri. Astros fans can say whatever they want about him, but I thought Jose Siri was going to be a really good potential talent for the Astros. It's different with Christian Vasquez. With Christian Vasquez, we didn't trade that much. We didn't trade with Christian Vasquez. We didn't trade nothing that's going to hurt us if he leaves. If Trey Mancini leaves the Astros, then we basically traded Jose Siri for nothing. And don't say, oh, well, Trey Mancini, the Astros ended up winning the World Series, so Trey Mancini did not do anything in the World Series. And if you hear that, you're probably like, well, then why should the Astros re-sign him? It's because Trey Mancini, he struggled a little bit in the playoffs. It's all right. Everybody does. Maybe a little bit being nervous, but he had a great regular season, right? And I'd rather have Trey Mancini, who's a good talent, than Yuli Gurriel, who I love Yuli, right? But Yuli's getting older, right? And I hate to use the word older, though, because he's 38, right? But it's not old. That's not that old. But for sports, for baseball, 38 is old. And, Yuli this year, he started to progress. He started to decline, right? And he started to decline even more and started to he was starting to play less. He was starting to play less a little bit. He was starting to play worse, and you could notice it. He wasn't hitting well, and he started to get a little better than the year. He was doing good with getting walks and getting singles and hitting doubles every time to time. He wasn't hitting as much as home runs as he usually does. Last year he had 9 home runs. This year he had 9 home runs and 52 RBIs compared to Trey Mancini, who had 22 home runs and 62 RBIs or 63 RBIs. Now on the Astros, Mancini only had 8 home runs and 22 RBIs because he was traded to the Astros in July. He was traded to the Astros in mid-July, and that's only like 2 months on the team compared to Yuli being with the Astros the whole season. So only 8 home runs and 22 RBIs were on the Astros. And, Yuli doesn't have a lot of time left in the MLB. No offense, he's 38 and he's probably, if he doesn't retire this year, which last year I thought he might retire. If he doesn't retire this year, I could see him going to play somewhere else this offseason if the Astros don't re-sign him. And, even though Yuli played good in the postseason, I think he's just going to continue to decline because of his age. And I know that there's such thing as a 45-year-old as Tom Brady playing football, and you got Justin Verlander on the Astros who he wants to play till 45 too. It's different as a hitter's standpoint. I know Albert Pujols, he's been doing it. He's done it. I think he was 40, and now he's retired. I think, was he 41 or was he 40? I don't know. Miguel Cabrera, those guys are still doing it. But I don't think you can retire. But I really don't see with the amount of firepower offense the Astros have. I just don't see him, if he continues to keep playing. I don't see them sticking with him. I can see him maybe playing another 2 seasons, but I don't see both of those. If he plays, let's say he plays another 2 or 3 seasons, I do not see all 3 of those seasons being with the Astros at all. That's what I think, though. Maybe one more. Maybe he plays one more with the Astros, but after that, I don't think. Yuli plays at all. Maybe I really think that Trey Mancini is the better fit for the Astros because not only can he play first base, but he can play left field. He can play right field. So if Kyle Tucker, God forbid, if we re-sign Michael Brantley let's say we re-sign Michael Brantley too with Trey Mancini, and you got Mancini, Brantley, Tucker, and Jordan. Let's say one of those other guys like Brantley, Tucker, or Jordan goes on the IL. Then you can move Mancini to one of those outfield positions if one of those guys at outfield needs a day off, or one of those guys at outfield goes to the 10-day IL, and move like a guy like J.J. Manichevic to first base while Trey Mancini plays. That's just an idea. But Trey Mancini is a good... Hell, I could even, just like I said, I could see that. I don't see this really tough position for the Astros because they obviously want to bring everybody back, and I don't think they have the money to... There's going to be a couple guys that have to leave. Like, I don't think the Astros, money-wise, can bring back both Yuli and Trey Mancini. I can't see the Astros bringing back Vasquez and Maldonado, but I can see them bringing back both Mancini and Gurriel. My big thing is I want Brantley back, and some people have to walk if Brantley gets re-signed. I want Mancini and Brantley to be re-signed, and I want Vasquez to be re-signed. I want Justin to be re-signed. I would also like to re-sign Rafael Monteiro. I'd like to let Maldonado walk and possibly Yuli, because I think at that point there's too many hitters on the roster. I'd like to potentially re-sign Diaz as well, because that's another guy. I'd like to re-sign Diaz because he's a big utility guy. So he's another guy that you got to think about re-signing. There's so many free agents to think about that I want the Astros to re-sign. I feel like one guy that's going to end up leaving is Lesmes Diaz, but that's just what I think. I think Lesmes Diaz is going to, I hate to say this about Diaz, but Diaz has been playing the utility role with the Astros for the last 3 years, and I think he's going to find himself a starting job, a everyday starter job on an MLB team. I think he can do it on an NBA team. It's not every MLB team that Lesmes Diaz can start on, but I think he will find one, and I think Diaz will leave us. But that's my opinion. I think Diaz will leave, but we can't bring everybody back. There's going to be a couple guys that leave, but I think the guys that we need to re-sign are Mancini, Verlander, Brantley, possibly Gurriel, Vasquez, and Monteiro. That's my beliefs. Let me know what you guys think, and that's it for the video, and peace out. Go Astros.